Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Saturday at noon, 3 and 6. Today is November 8th, 2017. And now, the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal. Plea hearings for Jessica Such, a Cortez house sitter facing theft-related charges in 3 cases, have been delayed pending the outcome of a 4th case. Such was scheduled to enter a plea in 3 felony identity theft cases on Tuesday, but Montezuma County District Court Judge Todd Plew delayed the hearing until November 21st, at the request of the prosecution and defense attorneys. Both said they needed more time to prepare in light of the new accusations. A charge of forgery is scheduled to be filed against Such on Wednesday. Such was arrested August 30th on a warrant for fraud after a Montezuma County resident who had employed her as a house sitter in July claimed that her credit card had been used to make more than $2,000 in unauthorized purchases while the house was in Such's care. Montezuma County Sheriff's deputies responded to 2 other reports of theft by people who had employed Such throughout the year, but in both cases, the alleged victims did not press charges at first. On October 25th, while 3 felony cases were in progress against her, Such was arrested again on suspicion of forgery. Defense attorney John Moran said Such has cooperated with legal authorities throughout the case and is undergoing mental health treatment. He suggested extreme stress and health problems in her family might have contributed to her recent behavior.
From the Journal in Cortez, Dolores and Montezuma counties are considering partnering with the San Juan National Forest to maintain Ferris and cabin campgrounds on the lower Dolores River. The campgrounds upriver from Bradfield Bridge have had reduced maintenance because of U.S. National Forest Service budget cuts and limited use. Ferris is no longer a fee campground, but is still open for dispersed camping. A bathroom was recently removed. The cabin campground site is gated and closed to vehicles and has been for more than 5 years. The overgrown site includes a forgotten quarter-mile concrete path along the river suitable for wheelchairs and walkers. There's also a closed RV dump site near the site along Forest Road 504. Both campgrounds are in Montezuma County, but are more accessible to Dolores County residents. The counties and the Forest Service are considering an agreement for co-management of the federally owned facilities. Ferris would remain open for dispersed camping and day use, and the proposal would reopen the cabin site for day use only. Neither site would have permanent bathrooms, trash service, or potable water for now. Dolores County Commissioner Julie Keibel said her constituents would like to see both recreation sites remain open. There's particular demand for cabin site to reopen because of its paved walkway, with benches and wheelchair-accessible fishing access. Quote, our community members who rely on wheelchairs or need a level surface to walk would like to utilize that sidewalk again to enjoy the canyon and the river, she said. It was a popular destination for our community. Local schools also rely on Ferris Campground for staging field trips into the canyon and would take advantage of the cabin site as well, Keibel said. The area is highly used by our residents for hunting, fishing, and sightseeing, so I would like to move forward on an agreement to keep those sites open, she said. In an era of decreasing budgets, the federal government and counties need these types of collaborative relationships. She envisions Dolores County bringing in portable toilets during summer, cleaning and mowing, and maintaining grills and picnic tables. Community service groups such as the Southwest Conservation Corps or the Boy Scouts could be contacted to help with the maintenance needs. County and Forest Service officials recently cleared overgrown portions of the sidewalk. San Juan Forest Recreation Planner Tom Rice said during a budget analysis of recreation sites last year that the Ferris Fee Campground was identified as a money loser because of limited use. To cut maintenance costs, it is no longer an organized fee campground, and the composting bathroom was removed. We've had to prioritize which campgrounds to maintain based on our available recreation budget, Rice said, which has been reduced over the years. Co-managing these sites with the counties is seen as a good opportunity. Campground rings and picnic tables at both sites will remain, but some will be removed. It is possible that the RV dump station could be reopened, but the counties would have to finance its operation because the Forest Service does not have the funds to do so. Dolores County is taking the lead on reestablishing the recreation sites, officials said, even though they are within Montezuma County. James Dietrich, Montezuma County Federal Lands Planner, said the county is on board with working on a management agreement with the Forest Service and Dolores County. He said, "We want to participate, and pending a successful agreement, I think each county's role will be worked out by next season."
According to the Cortez Journal, emergency personnel responded to a dispatch call about a possible fatal crash on U.S. Highway 160 southwest of Toyoak just after 4 p.m. Tuesday. The Colorado State Patrol Mountain Ute Fire Department and other emergency services were called out to the crash site at 4:04 p.m., according to CSP Public Information Officer Josh Lewis. He said 2 vehicles were involved but could not give any other information. The Bureau of Indian Affairs took over the investigation after 4:30 p.m. and a Ute ambulance left the scene with its lights on. At 5:14 p.m., east and west lanes of US 160 were closed for about a mile near the crash site, which was about 3 miles east of Highway 41 and 11 miles west of US 491 junction. Early communications by emergency personnel indicated that the crash had caused injuries and a possible fatality.
From the Cortez Journal, after complying with residents' request to use organic weed treatments in Boyle Park 2 years ago, the Mancos Town Board is considering a switch to traditional pesticides. During a board workshop last Wednesday, Mancos Parks Manager Terry Jennings took the trustees on a tour of Boyle Park, which adjoins Town Hall, to show them the many weeds growing in the fields around the playground. Mayor Pro Tem Fred Brooks said the town decided to use all organic pesticides in the park after several residents requested it in 2016. But Jennings said some parts of the park have become overrun with weeds since then, including several species on the Montezuma County Noxious Weeds list. He said most of the certified organic weed treatments that effectively kill those plants also kill the grass, which makes them impractical for spraying. The town has tried several different all-natural methods to cut down on weeds, but Jennings said none have worked very well. When the town first decided to switch to organic treatments, several people volunteered to pull weeds at the park once a week, but their numbers have thinned since then. Trustee Cindy Simpson pointed out that it would take several hours to pull all the weeds in the park by hand, even with dozens of people. Jennings gave board members an estimate of what it would cost the town to continue organic treatments at the park next year. A 100% organic lawn care program would cost about $14,000, he estimated, while an organic-based combination would cost around $8,000. Interim Town Administrator Heather Alvarez said the town usually budgets about $5,000 per year for park maintenance. On the other hand, Jennings estimated a traditional weed and feed fertilizer would cost about $2,000, but he added his traditional estimate didn't include the cost of a contractor to maintain the park, while the organic estimates do. Several board members said they liked the idea of using organic pesticides in the park, but they didn't believe it would be practical to continue the program. Alvarez asked Jennings to get more detailed estimates on the cost of organic and traditional weed treatments and bring them to a future board meeting. The board would probably begin discussing solutions to the park's weed problem in February or March.
Reported by the Durango Herald, emergency rooms are where many patients are first introduced to powerful opioid painkillers, but what if doctors offered over-the-counter pills instead? A new study tested that approach on patients with broken bones and sprains and found pain relievers sold as Tylenol and Motrin worked as well as opioids at reducing severe pain. The results challenge common ER practice for treating short-term severe pain and could prompt changes that would help prevent new patients from becoming addicted. Results were published Tuesday in the Journal of the American Medical Association. The study involved 411 adults treated in 2 emergency rooms at Montefiore Medical Center in New York City. Their injuries included leg and arm fractures or sprains. All were given acetaminophen, the main ingredient in Tylenol, plus either ibuprofen, the main ingredient in Motrin, or one of 3 opioids, oxycodone, hydrocodone, or codeine. They were given standard doses and were not told which drug combo they received. Patients rated their pain levels before taking the medicine and 2 hours later. On average, pain scores dropped from almost 9 on a 10-point scale to about 5, with negligible differences between the groups. Ibuprofen and acetaminophen affect both different pain receptors in the body, so using the 2 drugs together may be especially potent, said Dr. Andrew Chang, an emergency medicine professor at Albany Medical College in upstate New York, who led the study. He noted that a pill combining ibuprofen and acetaminophen is available in other countries. His findings echo research from Canada and Australia testing that pill against opioids for pain relief. And now, let's take a look at the weather.
On the national weather scene, for those who may be traveling for the holidays, according to AccuWeather, signs are pointing towards a displacement of the polar vortex that may be accompanied by a significant storm with rain, snow, and wind in the northeastern United States during the days prior to Thanksgiving. The polar vortex, the newest weather groovy term in winter, is a storm that typically hangs out within the Arctic Circle. Arctic air is usually locked up within the bounds of this storm, and occasionally this storm gets dislodged or spills into multiple parts. When this happens, Arctic air can push southward to the mid-latitude regions anywhere around the globe. One such southward displacement of Arctic air is in progress and will sweep across the upper Midwest and Northeast into this weekend. Then a second southward displacement is possible around the days prior to Thanksgiving, November 18th to the 22nd. For today, the national weather concerns are for a stretch of rain and thunderstorms hovering over the center of Texas, while the threat of rain and snow mix continues to push in from the Pacific Northwest and snow moving down from the Canadian border into the upper Midwest. With the low pressure hanging on through the south and southeast, seasonal rains continue to generate precipitation across the southeast and up through the mid-Atlantic for another day. A few showers will move east and out of the San Juan Mountains early this morning. Clearing skies and dry weather returns for the remainder of the week. Clearing skies are expected today as high pressure builds in from the west. Some low clouds and fog will hang around the central Colorado River Valley and the valleys of the San Juan Mountains until mid-morning. Then sunny conditions again will take over. Isolated snow showers will continue this morning in the higher mountains near the Continental Divide, again with precipitation ending this afternoon. An upper trough and cold front will continue moving through southeast Colorado and into the Plains states. The National Weather Service continues to monitor that Pacific Northwest storm as its potential path dropping into our region next week. However, right now it looks like a new pattern will take over and push it eastward along the Canadian border, leaving the main storm track well to our north. About the only chance of any precipitation occurs on Saturday across northern Colorado when the main low pressure over the northwest is pushed out by a new low. The system may temporarily push some cooler air into the north on Saturday, along with some very light precipitation. Otherwise, dry and above normal temperatures will be the rule across the region going into early next week. In our 5-day forecast today, it will stay below normal, feeling much cooler but sunny with a high near 51. North winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. Tonight's mostly clear with a low around 29. Southeast winds around 5 miles an hour, and Thursday again sunny with a high near 58. South-southwest winds 5 to 10. Mostly clear overnight with a low around 34. South-southeast winds will drop to 5 to 10 miles an hour. Friday, it's mostly sunny again with a high near 60. South-southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with a low nighttime temperature just about freezing, 33 degrees. And then Saturday, clear and sunny with a high near 56, mostly clear overnight with a low around 32. And Sunday, and again, mostly sunny day with a high near 59 and a low around 34. Currently looking into next week, Monday again is still being forecast to continue to be mostly sunny with a high near 61, with some clouds coming in Monday evening to keep the nighttime temperatures a bit warmer with a low around 36. And now, back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, voters rejected the Montezuma-Cortez RE1 school district's request to raise property taxes on Tuesday night. Voters easily approved the Mancos district's bond. According to unofficial results, 2,269 voted against Montezuma-Cortez's ballot measure 3B, and 1,867 voting for it, 54.9% to 45.1%. The district conducted an extensive campaign in support of the measure, which would have installed a mill levy override to increase money for the general fund. Teachers and staff members went door to door asking district residents to vote for the tax and passed out flyers at events such as the Homecoming Parade in October. Different officials, including Hawkness, district officials, including Hawkness, said the money would be used to give teachers raises and buy new buses and technological equipment. But as the election neared, more voters voiced opinions opposing the idea. The Journal published editorial columns endorsing the measure, but some readers responded with less favorable letters to the editor. One reader, Jeanne Stegelmeyer, wrote a letter in which she objected to creating a permanent tax without language requiring that the revenue to be used only for specific purposes. The letter attracted hundreds of reads and dozens of comments on the Journal's Facebook page, most of which agreed with her. As opposition appeared to mount, Harkness released a plan for how the district would spend the mill levy revenue. Emailed to the Journal 4 days before the election, the plan included details such as a timeline for purchasing buses over the next 15 years and the number of electronic devices to be replaced per year. Brian Balfour, who was re-elected to represent District A on the school board, said he was disappointed with the 3B results and stood by the board's decision to propose the mill levy.
From the Journal in Cortez and High Country News, a new breed of cattle may be taking hold in southwest Colorado. With the recent drought in the west, ranchers might be forced to find more sustainable options, and some researchers are looking to a breed of cattle from the past to find the answers. John and Susie Eichhoff are a couple who have been working together for over 3 decades. When John suffered a heart attack while being the CEO of a fast-paced, successful engineering services company that he managed with Susie, they decided it was time to leave the pressure cooker career and trade it in for a slower-paced ranching life near Faywood, New Mexico. The animals they chose to raise are Criollo cattle. While trying to decide on a cattle breed, they watched as ranching friends struggled during New Mexico's recent drought. They came across research being done on Criollo cattle at the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Jornada experimental range that showed the breed should and could adapt to the arid desert environment in southwest New Mexico. The breed has actually been in the region for hundreds of years. She said this is a sustainable animal. It requires less food, less supplementation, less water, all of these things that the British breeds require more of. Water is a premium in this part of the country. Research published in the peer-reviewed journal Environmental Research Letters found 1 in 30 wells in the West is probably dry. The study by Stanford University and the University of California looked at data in 17 western states covering more than 2 million groundwater wells. In eastern New Mexico, there's concern in Curry and Roosevelt counties about increased use of the Ogallala aquifer. Alex Reinhardt, a hydrologist with the New Mexico Bureau of Geology and Mineral Resources, says he worries about the lack of recharge to the aquifer. Alfredo Gonzalez, an animal scientist at the range, is looking at how this group of Criollo compares to a group of Angus and Hereford crossbred to see how the cattle respond to the desert temperatures. He said they seem better adapted to the hot temperatures. Not only does the Criollo thrive in the desert temperatures, but by monitoring the cattle with GPS tracking collars, they found the breed can travel further from water. We found that they go days more without water. Again, they are responding by going out further, and so they distribute a lot better than the Angus. He says the breed is helping to restore grasslands that have disappeared due to overgrazing in the state. So with them using these areas a lot better, a lot more diverse plants, then they're utilizing water in a better manner, Gonzalez said. I think this is good for the remediation of our grasslands. So perhaps what was old is new again. A breed that has been around hundreds of years may offer sustainable answers for ranchers in the West for the future.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, several moms and their kids held a rally in front of Dolores Town Hall on Monday to show support for reopening the playground in Joe Rowell Park. The playground was closed September 11th by town officials, citing safety concerns. The town is waiting the results of an assessment done in October by the original builders to determine its condition. The town board and a new Parks Advisory Committee are assessing whether the popular playground can be repaired cost-effectively or if it should be replaced. Parents at the rally, put on by Friends of the Playground, held up posters and waved at passerbys who honked their horns. Some stopped to get more information and donate to the project. There's a baby boom happening in the Dolores area right now, said parent Angie Stanley, and the playground is a key resource for current and new families. The fate of the playground has been an ongoing conversation at recent town board meetings. It will be brought up again at the next meeting, November 13th at 6:30 p.m. at Dolores Town Hall.
From the Durango Herald, a new directive by the U.S. Department of Interior jeopardizes a pending master leasing plan in southwest Colorado that would scrutinize oil and gas development near Mesa Verde National Park. In March, the Washington, D.C. office of the Bureau of Land Management approved development of a master leasing plan for 71,000 acres in Montezuma and La Plata counties. The plan was to analyze potential energy development on BLM-controlled lands to protect archaeological resources and recreational areas, including the popular Phil's World mountain bike park. But in a report on energy policy released October 24th, The Department of Interior included master leasing plans as one of many regulatory, quote, burdens to oil and gas development. The agency is expected to rescind the policy authorizing them. The BLM is currently evaluating existing MLP efforts with the goal of ending this approach, states a report titled Review of the Department of the Interior Actions That Potentially Burden Domestic Energy. The directive states that the BLM expects to rescind the policy authorizing MLPs. It states that current BLM resource management plans will be the source of land allocation decisions for oil and gas. It will result in more streamlined National Environmental Policy Act analysis and a shorter time frame for acreage nominations to make it to a competitive lease sale, the report says. President Donald Trump's Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke aims to end policies supported under the previous Interior Secretary Sally Jewell, who served under President Barack Obama. The report says the previous policies are overly regulatory and inefficient, causing a backlog of energy leases that have led to uncertainty in the industry. The report envisions that revised BLM policies will work to reduce the time from nomination of energy leases to their sale from 16 months to 8 or 6 months.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of October 30th through November 5th. A county resident reported that their dog was let loose and damage done to their vehicle. The resident previously reported being harassed by family members and others. A deputy investigated and found insufficient evidence to prove a crime was committed. A resident came in to report a horse outside its fence on Highway 491. Dispatch was unable to reach the owner via telephone. Montezuma County requested our office be on the lookout for a pickup truck driven by a man who was reported to have dragged a female into it by force at a Cortez fast food restaurant. It was unknown what direction the vehicle traveled. All officers were notified. A county resident reported gunfire on a county road. An officer investigated and found a hunting party with permission to hunt on personal property. In the event these were not where the gunshots came from, the Division of Wildlife was also notified for investigation, follow-up, and additional patrol. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings, November 9th from 12 to 1:30 p.m. is the Onward Celebration Luncheon at the Baymont Inn and Suites in Cortez. Onward, a Legacy Foundation's luncheon, is celebrating 2017, where they will announce the recipients of their 2017 enhancement grants, hand out the new annual report. And plus, you can learn about Onward's community impact through stories from the fund partners. Contact them on Facebook for availability and to RSVP, or for more info on Onward, go online to onwardfoundation.org. Wednesday, November 15th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. is a Suicide Prevention Community Summit at the Montezuma Cortez High School. It's an opportunity to learn about suicide prevention resources for all ages and connect with community members to create a locally based support system for those in need. Key presentations and breakout sessions at 5:45, and local support organizations resource fair and feedback gallery is from 5:30 to 7:30. For more info, contact Southwestern Colorado AHEC at 970-426-4285 or email mary.frey, F-R-E-Y, at swcahec.org, or go online to their website, which is, again, swcahec.org. November 23rd is the third annual Dolores Turkey Trot, 5K or 1 mile fun run. It's held on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 23rd. Gather at 8:30 a.m. at the Dolores High School. And all of these happenings are posted up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Wednesday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook. It's DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.